an awful lot of Cyber Dragons out here. Let's dig into this round of, you want to keep an eye on these cards. Make sure you smash the like and crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So we're going to start off over here with Cyber Dragons. I have, obviously, the Tactical Tri-3 deck comes out here. Actually, it is now out in the OCG. But before this, heading on into the Tactical 3 Tri deck, there was a crap ton, and I mean a crap ton, of people playing Cyber Dragons out of the past week. And I had to sit down here and I legitimately had to go, what in the actual crap? Is it because, everybody can now actually pick up Cyber Dragons? Because this was all before the Tactical Tri-3 deck came out. So there was already people that had these cards readily available to them. And in terms of metagame success, it wasn't anything too crazy. I mean, you had a couple first places here and there, but has Cyber Dragons woken up to be this meta contender in the OCG? I don't know. I still do think that we are going to get more Cyber Dragon support because of the Tactical 3 Tri decks. I think it would be extremely weird if we didn't receive, some sort of power-ups after, you produce those, and then, you could actually put them on into Master Duel, and then, wow, people can play those decks again. That would be a marketing genius. We talked about this all before, but I wanted to give this heads up and go, hey, TCG, the OCG's kind of going through a Cyber Dragon craze right now. I'm not exactly sure what is up with this. I saw everything from like Super Heavy Samurai builds to, the classic OTK, gas, do all the stupid stuff that you want to do with this. Cyber Dragon's being cut down to 2-ofs. Yeah, it's interesting. So I guess for everything, all intents and purposes here, keep an eye on your Cyber Dragon stuff. Who knows? That same fad or trend could land its way here. X-Head Cannon. We know that the Duelist pack for Light is somewhere deep over there in the vastness of space. Actually, off of the past week, I have now seen more builds with the Xyz Dragon Cannon stuff than I actually kind of thought I was going to see out here. Initially, when the Xyz Dragon Head Cannon stuff came out, a lot of people were just like, oh, this is a meme. It's just throw it in the trash. I kind of agree with you on that. It wasn't exactly the greatest thing in the world, but to be honest with you, it left a little place in my heart for people kind of wanting to try out some of these ideas. And I guess we fast forward here. You have the version from Kaiba's little suitcase out here. It's not a $30 card, but it has the Japanese art on it, which technically is the uncensored version of it. So I guess that's a cool little win out here. You've also got the original MFC first edition copies, which I believe as of filming this, Light Play was coming in about $10. So you've already got, the X-Head Cannons. They've already done their thing, but this comes down to, are you planning on playing the VWXYZ, ABC, Turbo Piece, Cannon Turbo deck? And that's your question you got to ask yourself. If the answer is yes, and you do like your specific high rarity cards, then get your X-Head Cannon while you can. Those Kaiba suit briefcase versions more than likely aren't going to repopulate, considering how rare that they are at this point in time. But I do think you're going to want to keep an eye on this. Just for the casual side of the game, too. You got to remember, people like to have fun in this game. Even though the competitive side is absolutely dog doo-doo right now, I think that there's something pretty fun to be said about having a nice X-Head vanilla monster in your deck. Next up is Fabled Lurry. So this one is absolutely zero stranger to this list. Alright, Fabled Lurry is the go-to one-of that you need if you're doing the Fiendsmith combo post, what we're heading on into here for the next set. Our questions do remain. Are we going to be receiving the Underworld Goddess? Because, the mini Underworld Goddess is the thing that allows the Fiendsmith package to be splashed in the high numbers that it is. Yes, I understand you can still play the Fiendsmith Search for the Tractus, but it's that ability to access through the extra deck stuff that actually allows you to turbo into that engine, deck thin your deck, get to those additional extenders so you can get to the Beatrice. Unfortunately, if we don't get that many Underworld Goddess, then we suffer some of the not so successful parts of this. And I also want to point out here that you have your choice of what rarity Fabled Luri that you want. You can get the nice dual terminal, or you can get the nice not dual terminal. That's it. That's all we're putting for Luri. Just a nice one of that you can have upgraded if you're choosing to play a splash package in a deck to maximize value. Yeah, that's literally the entire thing on this. The Fiendsmith combo is absolutely absurd. All right, everything that package can do can still be done. It's just it's going to be a little bit easier to navigate under if we don't receive the Underworld Goddess. So I won't have to worry about the total absolute blowouts with that. But this pickups video and watch video, and unfortunately we're missing a key piece of info here on if we're getting the Goddess or not. So do with this information what you will. You've already seen the success of this out of the OCG. Nightmare Throne. This card is $40 now. You're spending $40 on a hypothetical that we get Phantom of Yubel right now. Isn't that crazy to think about? $40 for a field spell. That was not $40 a while ago. Phantom of Yubel is the last creator card that we have coming down the pipeline here that is so gosh darn absurd that you can 5 splash cards, by the way. 3 Thrones, a Spirit of Yubel, and Yubel. Oh boy, 2 bricks. And, you know, we can go ahead and combo on back here. And also, the Fiend Toolbox stuff as well. You know, getting the chance to play this package is so incredibly broken. All right. Also, bricks, large Yubel monsters. It is what it is. But people are really, you're watching Nightmare Throne bank up in the TCG because that anticipation is so, everybody's so excited for Phantom of Yubel right now. And once again, if we don't get Phantom in this upcoming set, or they don't port it in an upcoming product, well, guess what? That means that all of this hype all will, you know, retract down and start to kind of lose its way here. I don't know what to say about this. I think you should have had Thrones a long time ago, the minute that Phantom of Yubel was first announced. I think the collateral of all of this pushing itself up is not that surprising, to be honest with you. But I think for the most part right now, this is probably, you might actually see this card hit 45, and that's kind of a scary thing. So if you think you want the Phantom of Yubel stuff, it's usually a decent time to look at giving, you know, these packages, especially if you're heading into the NAWCQ, getting ready to challenge the meta. And then last but not least here, I want to talk about the Magician of Bonds and Unity. Ah, yes, the same card, but with 4 different flavors of background. You know, initially, I thought that, I still think that this is one of the stupidest things that they could have done was printing the same card. But as a card that celebrates why we're all here, the fact that, you know, we love this trading card game so gosh darn much, you know, even if we're in the middle of a dog shit format and, you know, everybody's crying to, you know, want to quit and everything, I get it. But it means you always take the good with the bad. And unfortunately, how the game is right now, it's pretty bad. But that doesn't mean that, you know, missing up on an opportunity to get, you know, these cheap cards. We've already seen some of the Magicians of Bonds shift around in some crazy ways. I would definitely pick up the ones that you want for your collection. I'm missing just the Legacy one to finish my set, but personally, these cards are extremely cool. Who knows, a couple years down the line, having these sitting around, they could hit $100 a piece. Anything is possible in this game, especially on the collector sector. Oh yeah, we've seen some real dumb stuff come out of the collector side of this game. Oh, it amazes me every single time. Well, a lot of things to keep an eye on here, but please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'm going to be honest with you. As news kind of resumes in the next couple of days, I'm going to be extremely happy because a lot of this stuff is just national hype train stuff, just to kind of see what's going to change. But we will have to wait and see. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.